Do we have in the office market the same kind of bid-ask spread deal where you have potential customers that are kind of kicking the tires but don't want to commit? Or have we gotten past that point where we don't even have the tire kickers around? Do we need a rental adjustment to get the market to clear, to get leasing transactions going again?
I would just say I think you're going to have a rental adjustment. You already gotten a rental adjustment. But that's not going to substantially change the demand in the market. The demand is going to be driven by need this year. I mean, if somebody has to do something, their rent rolls over, they're going to do something. If they don't have to do it, unless they can find some way to save money, which is to say drive down rental rates, they're just not going to do it. They're going to put it off. So, you know, you're not going to create a lot of demand in this market by lowering the rental rates, I don't think.
That catches landlords blind. Because if you don't watch the M&A activity, we have a chart of downtown, so to say, of every Class A building by floor, where our research people are watching the vacancies and who's going to move out and what hands you have. But the bigger way to watch it is watch the M&A risk. Who is on who's got the bullseye on their forehead that's going to get taken out, and that will affect this city more than anything.
I've had kind of a working hypothesis that it's Pollyanna hope kind of thing, and that is that there's some pent-up demand for leasing, particularly in office, that somewhere about last year, I want to say January of last year, 14 months ago, people started to take a wait-and-see attitude on a lot of things. And I'm hoping that there were people that postponed making space decisions, whether to get bigger or smaller, and took a wait-and-see attitude. I want to see how the election falls out. I want to see what the post-election environment looks like. And I'm postponing making some decisions. And once I get some clarity, I'm going to come back in the market. And that not only would you have some normal demand, but you might have some backed up demand that's been sitting there. Did I just totally make that up? Is that possible or not?
I think it's arguable that people have, in fact, I think it's unquestionably true that a lot of people have been waiting to make decisions until they determine just exactly what the contour of this new economy looked like. And I think now, having seen it, they've all decided that they're not doing anything.
So you guys thought I was making this up, didn't you? You just thought I had a bad day here. Let me just ask you this. What do the people in the energy business say? Just how low can oil go before they get real nervous? I mean, I expect they're already real nervous. They're real nervous because the government might just take their jobs away from them and their companies away from them. I know that. But throw that aside. Based on your interactions, you guys aren't energy guys, but you have clients like that. Is $30 oil the end of time as we know it, or has it got to go to 20? I mean, gas is, they tell me that, you know, anytime natural gas gets below $6.50, it's no fun to go up to Fort Worth and poke holes in the ground. But what about oil? What are these guys, what's your sense? What would you, I hear this all the time. It's like, what happens if oil goes to 35 and stays there?
Well, every energy company has a different base. Every energy company has bought, leasehold estates at different costs. Because I've asked that same question of major energy executives, and I got the same answer. It's not one answer. It depends on the company. But like I said a minute ago, I think we are kind of at the bottom of being able to hold on to our employment base. They've slashed budgets like crazy, over half, most of them. I'm talking about on the E&P side, which drives engineering. I mean, that's the engine that's going to make this town go. And none of the independents have let anybody go, to speak of. None of the global energy E&P groups have let people go, other than ConocoPhillips. There was an announcement on Citgo this morning, but I didn't see, it didn't really get too detailed on what they were talking about. But I think they're holding Mark, like I said, and then what they tell me is they are, all of them, every one of them that I talk to. Maybe you got to be this way to be in that business. You got to be optimistic to drill, multi-million-dollar hole in the ground anyway.
Crazy.
But they are all optimistic that pricing is going to come back by this summer, and maybe September. The numbers they tell me, they think they'll be back at 50 by the summer. They think it'll be back to 60 by the end of the year. And because of that, they're holding pat. They cannot afford to lose the people because people from Texas A&M and the other colleges around the state just quit pushing out petroleum engineering graduates for 20 years. So they have a major hiring problem. So I think we're there. Hopefully it doesn't drop down. Crude is now down to 36.10 and gas is at 4.58. I watch it every 30 minutes. I knew I couldn't get through this speech. And what's going to happen in Houston, and it affects the buying appetite, is like you were mentioning a minute ago, the new political team we have. And in my opinion, their lack of friendliness or knowledge of the energy sector. I think it's going to hurt us on the short term. I think they're going to do everything to be against the big bad energy companies, and they want the clean route, and doing that is not in favor with the big energy companies, which are all our primary clients in this town. So on the short term, I think we're going to get hit. I think we're also going to have what you normally call M&A activity. I call it M&B activity now, because there's going to be mergers for sure. Just how big is the question, and you're going to have bankruptcies. Because these small to mid-sized cap firms, they got leveraged up at a time when they were banking on crude at 50 plus, can't hold on much longer. That's not the big independents or any of the global, obviously. That's the small, 10 to 30 to 50,000 square foot energy companies that we've all benefited from for the last few years. So I think we're hopefully about bottomed out. I was sad to see us drop back into 30s again after we hit 40, started going back up. I still, optimistically hope we've bottomed out, but I think you're going to see some mergers this year, which have hurt all of us during our career in Houston. I used to have a chart that Sanford had, 82 energy companies, and they went to 59, and now they're to 36. And every M&A deal that happens in the city is not good. It's not good for the law firms, accounting firms, brokers, real estate developers, all of us. And I think there'll be one large one. How many behind that, I don't know. And that's the biggest impact. The demand could stop, and we'd stay pretty darn full.
What else do you want to talk about? What else do we need to tell people about the current state of office? Let's go with the $5,000 an hour consultant. And people will say, I'm shopping. The multifamily guys kind of made a case. The industrial guys kind of made a case. I'm not interested in making a case. I'm interested in providing honest, useful information to people that say, I might want to put some money into Houston office. What do I need to be thinking about before I do it?
Cap rates.
Cap rates, okay. That's
well,
good.
again, I don't think cap rates are not a very good measure of value, because they're just a snapshot of relationship between in-place rents and market rents at a given time. I mean, we know that they go up when the market's bad, they go down when the market's good. I think that clearly cap rates have gone up somewhat since last year. There may be, this is one of those, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it make any noise kind of questions. There's nobody buying real estate, what's a cap rate? But if I'm guessing, I'm saying that they're 7.5 to 8.5 right now. And to give you just a kind of a comparison, I did a sale leaseback not very long ago, a year and a half ago. And it was